Coach Catfish here to talk to you this morning, cause it's a whole new few days and a whole new month, and it's the same old year, so you can have the same old stuff. But this is a new month, which I'm trying to tuck something, trying to tuck the butt. Anyway, it's a whole new month. It's a whole new month. It's a whole new day, and unfortunately, this here is a month. Like they folks that celebrate the Pride and all that kind of stuff. They celebrate this here month, that there month. Well, this is a month. They say they celebrate about not offing yourself, about the depression and the things like that. Well, Coach Catfish here talk to you today is say I can tell you how to get rid of depression. Cause I had to deal with it. I understand it. I had to deal with it. And the way I make sure I don't get in that mode is I keep my hands busy. I keep these suckers busy. Even though they look like they're doing stuff and got their issues, with my tissues, I keep the suckers busy. Because busy hands, well, if you got busy hands, it means you're doing something. If you're doing something, you don't have no time to be depressed about nothing, because you're doing something. And the best thing to do is to do what you need to do for your family, for others, and for you. See, thing is, we done been taught everybody, come McGregor. He's not last. He's not last at all. Everybody done been taught, you are the most important thing in the universe. The whole universe revolves around you. And the truth is, it do not. So somebody done lied to people. So by the time child's 3 years old here on this here planet, they done probably seen some weird sex. They got a telephone. They look at the telephone. They got the Game Boy. They see all this here stuff that works on their imagination. You know, children's got imagination. So you go in there and screw up the imagination of a child and expose them to too much stuff, then they grow up and, I'm unhappy. I've already had one of them. I'm very unhappy. I don't want one of them because they're no good. I need to have what the mama and the daddy and the boy down and the girl down the street has, because theirs is expensive and you got to buy it from your mama. Otherwise, I will go do something. I will just, Now that's what we done got ourselves up in here. We think that every feeling we have must be taken captive, put into a jar and looked at all day long. You know, feelings are just that, especially with the dangle. The men, you know, we need to quit feeling so much, but with the wrong thing. You know, because you get all up in your feelings, and you're just not designed for feelings. You're designed to work with your hands, to do things. And you say, well, what can I do? What can I do? I have my computer, I have my keyboard, I have my phone. Don't I have enough to do? No, you ain't doing nothing, except wasting your time. Now, Coach Catfish gets up way before daylight because I don't sleep at night because of issues with the tissues and stuff and I hurt. But you know what? Instead of being depressed about it, I get up and do something, because what I do is go out and check on the chicken, feed the pussycats, work the garden, water the plants. And the reason I do that is because I gotta eat. I actually have something to do. I don't have time to sit and think about the circumstances in my life that have been such a bitch. Thing about the human condition, you overcome the bitch, or the itch, or whatever is necessary. You learn to overcome it. If you sit around and emote and feel it, it will just spiral you down into the toilet of, well, you know when I go down a toilet, just a bunch of turds. And who wants to be a turd? You want to be the snacking people that makes the, you know, that's just part of eating. You eat something, it's going to come out the other end. But the whole point is, if you don't know how to make something to eat and things go to poo-poo, then what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Now, Coach Catfish and the other half, we've been learning about the scavenging. You know, I go out and pick the berries in the spring and stuff like that, everything I know to eat. But I found out there's just all kinds of stuff on the property. And my property is not that big, but it has got more stuff growing on it than you can shake a stick at. More snake, or a squirrel, or a rabbit, or a turtle. I saw turtles the other day, and that helped make life better. But what Coach Catfish is trying to say is, 423, yes, that is your 9. Please, Pussycat, do not do that. She comes in here, Coach Catfish stuck some carpet in here. Somebody threw some carpet away, and I got it, and I stuck it in the Brown Cat studio. So now I got the soft floor that the rest of you people, well, maybe you don't have a floor at all. Anyway, maybe you're living on debt. And if you're living on debt, then you cannot be depressed, because you living on debt, sucker. You better know how to go out and make you some food. But the other thing was learning how to do things. Now, Coach Catfish grew up in a situation where the grandma, the Munchausen grandma, she'd say, You don't work for someone unless they pay you. Well, what I figured out a long time ago is when you're working for young poor people and you learn how to do stuff, it's called cutting your teeth and paying your dues. So Coach Catfish learned how to do a whole lot of stuff because I was a flunky, and I'd work for anybody to say, hand me that tool. But I would take the tool and take it to them, and I'd learn about the tool and what you would do with the tool. And before you know it, hell, I was making money doing brake jobs, tearing apart carburetors and fixing them, and doing all kind of things. Doing all kind of things to the cars, and I learned about doing electricity stuff, and then I learned how I can just put up ceiling fans, make $25 at a pop with the ceiling fans back in the 80s when, this is actually the 70s when they started becoming popular. Thing was, I did not get paid by everyone, and sometimes I had to work for poor people, because we was poor, but we had a lot of widows and stuff like that, and Coach Catfish, because us, believing in the Yahushua and the Jesus, and you're supposed to do what's right, I would do things like that. My grandma would say, you out there working for these people and they're not doing nothing for you. And what she did not understand was that Coach Catfish was learning how to do. And you could not imagine the amount of money I have saved by wiring my own house, running my own plumbing, because I had to learn how. You don't just go in there and start chewing on the wires and stuff. Well, I ain't got so many teeth and chew them suckers. Arr! This here strip of 12 gauge, that'll strip a 10 gauge, and that right there, it'll strip them little baby wires. It'll take the fur right off of them suckers. Anyway, the thing was, I did not get paid. Always. Sometimes I just got a spliff or a bliff or something like that, just for working all damn day on old cars. But the thing was, it taught me how to make money. It taught me how to, regardless how I felt, I got to get up and do it anyway, because necessity is a mother of invention, and sometimes it's just a mother. But necessity is something that the human being has the ability to do. Now, Coach Catfish got the popcorn thing on the head today, because this stuff up didn't go on, it's just popping and popping, and I had to pop something out, because I'm very worried about you people. Coach Catfish is very worried. See, I cannot come on here and say what I really want to, because you just can't speak anymore, and that's one of the things that young people don't understand. And I've noticed young people don't speak a whole lot anyway, because they've been on their phone. They have not been acculturated and adulterated into speaking to people. Just the niceties of living amongst a bunch of people. Anyway, that's how we used to stay and keep ourselves safe. Is by putting a tinfoil on our head so CRT could not get in. No. That's what Coach Catfish does as a necessity. I put CRT stuff on my head, keep it out. And that way I can come in and talk to you about things necessary. So, if you have an opportunity to go do something, don't ask, how much am I going to be paid? Can I buy me a new McMansion with what you're going to pay me for sweeping out your gutters? No, fool. You do that because you paying your dues. You learn how to do something. So Coach Catfish never had to go hungry, because I always found something I could do. Now here with the issue and tissue, I can't do so much, so I'm having a real problem doing, because I'm used to doing. So I've had to quit doing for others and focus on doing for myself, and that's not very comfortable. It's just not my nature, just to do for old Coach Catfish. What I miss is the bayou, the place I can run to and get rid of some of this frustration, which is the other thing. You want to help your depression and stuff, get out and move. Get on a bicycle. That's what I used to do. I got me on a bicycle, lost 50 pounds, and I'm gained some of it back. But it helped me. It helped my head, because when your body does certain things is done in your body, and it's good for the body. What is good? Well, anyway, we won't go there. But the whole thing is, you don't have to live that way. You don't have to live that way. What I think is happening is, of course, Coach Catfish thinks that concrete and steel makes crazy. And that's why people in the cities have lost their mind and kills each other, and they depressed too. Because if you got people shooting and doing all that stuff, you can't fight back. Then what can you do? You get mad, and then anger turns inside, and before you know it, you're like, why am I here? Get the hell out. Get the hell out. I just tell you from the bottom thing. I stuck around way too long trying to take care of people who did not care about me, and just cared about death and anger. And it rubbed off, and it was very bad, and it took me years to get through the circumstance. The inoculation. The inoculation is the faith. To have the faith that there's something greater than you. Now, Coach Catfish knows what it is, and I can't push it on you, because you can't say much about the faith and religious stuff. Because It's just not, people don't care no more. But what I can say is, it worked for me. It worked for me. Medications and stuff worked a little bit, but that's something that's why I can't talk on here, because you can't talk about stuff like that. You say, stay away from that shit. Anyway, Coach Catfish out of here. This is just one of, hopefully, I'll do some more and talk about real life circumstances and how to survive them and how to tell other people, just get your ass. Leave me alone. Just say no. Withdraw, Onan. Anyway, Coach Catfish got to get back to work. It's gonna be hot, and we preparing to do some a little cooking outside, because when it's hot in the house, I cook outside. Anyway, Coach Catfish out of here. I love you people. I pray for you. I just have my concerns. Praise the